Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 8 now of the Discover New Music podcast from Pelt Music. Today, we'll be talking with the multinational band Freddie and the Fabs, who recently featured on our Discover New Music playlist over on Spotify, where we continue to highlight some of the best up-and-coming new acts from around the world. Please do check that out and follow that playlist on Spotify. Please follow us on all of our social channels. You can follow us on Facebook at Pelt and on Twitter and Instagram at Pelt Music. And if you are watching the video edition of the podcast on YouTube, well, please do hit that subscribe button to keep up to date with the latest from Pelt Music, including the return of the Pelt Music podcast coming very soon. Welcome everyone to the Discover New Music podcast. We're joined this week by Freddie and the Fabs. We've got Freddie with us and Maarten. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having us, Paul.
Absolute delight. Obviously, we focus in this podcast on artists that we've featured on our playlist, and we've recently added your most recent single, Winnie, to the playlist, and we'll talk about Winnie in a moment. But with these podcasts, we always like to have a bit of an introduction with the band, because it's designed for people that perhaps aren't familiar with the band. Sure. What is the origin story for Freddie and the Fabs? How did you guys come together?
The origin story. Ooh, goodness gracious.
That was before Corona.
It was BC, before Corona. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd been playing for a couple of years by myself, solo, and that had reached a point where the music I was writing needed a band, and also the whole point of music and Corona sort of accented it, I think, that how much we actually need other people in our lives. And I was finding that when I was playing, and you couldn't share the experience with anyone. And which, is particularly important when you have a bad gig. It's which I
carry the burden alone.
Exactly. And I think statistically, I don't know what it's like with your other guests, but I think statistically there's more bad gigs than good gigs. So so chatted with Lucas, who's the drummer, El Locomotiva, who unfortunately isn't with us today. He's with us in our hearts, but he's not here physically. Love you, Loco. And so I wanted to try and have a 3-piece because it's logistically a little bit simpler to get everyone together, get everyone around, and you can get the idea across. As soon as there's a beat and a bass going on, it's a lot more interesting, I think, for people to listen to. That's an origin stuff. That was a pretty incoherent origin story. They'll never make a movie based off that.
It's quite an interesting dynamic in the band, though, of course, because you guys, I believe, you are based in Belgium right now.
Yes.
But of course, multinational bands. You're, I believe, 1/3 Dutch, 1/3 Belgian, and 1/3 British, obviously. So quite, unique blend of.
I love the irony that. England's stepped away from Europe, and I've created sure, yeah.
Also, like, the countries are pretty far apart, but we, as a 3-piece, we live very closely together, like a 5-minute drive on a bike. So
yes.
Wow.
It's
yeah.
No, it's. You think that there would be a lot more different. I mean, there's plenty of differences culturally wise if you break those 3 countries up, but in some respects there isn't, and especially with music.
Yes, exactly.
It completely breaks over all those boundaries, because all of our people that we were interested in all cross over.
Yeah.
That's nice. See, we can all live together.
Yes.
Yeah,
we can all live together, Boris.
Yes. So yeah, guys, as we say, music, brings us all together. It's brought you guys together, and you've released 3 singles so far as a band. The most recent one, Winnie, we've picked up on and added to the Discover New Music playlist on Spotify. So just tell us a bit about Winnie. What is the song about? I believe there's a feline influence on the song. What can you tell us?
There is a feline influence. If you want to take over, I might be able to find it.
And we've got a special guest for the podcast.
We now have a very special moment where Freddie's going to look for the cat that inspired the song Winnie, which is also called Winnie, so that's a good thing. I think, yeah, there she is.
Yeah.
In all of her pride.
So she loves a cuddle, but she hates being held. So she will jump out of my hand. But so this is Winnie. Yeah, see? And then, okay.
Brief cameo.
Yeah, first feline guest on the podcast.
Come back and say hello. Yeah, she is.
There you go. Wow.
There she is.
There we go.
So yeah, I mean, the song actually stems back to when I was #solo, and there is actually a version of this song on my personal Spotify, on my, when I was, because I did it on a previous EP, although this version is obviously a lot better. But so it's the only bless you. It's the only song that's carried over really from then. Basically, because you guys said we like that song, can we do a version?
True.
Yeah.
We insisted.
Yeah. Winnie insisted. So I'd like to give some sort of long, metaphorical, interesting, introspective answer, but it's basically a song about my cat. It's a simple, silly little pop song. Based around the cat, which it came quite quickly. It's not, because as you said, it's our third single, and if you listen to this and you listen to the other ones, I'm listening to them and I'm realizing we're early in our life as a band, so we're really trying to find our feet in terms of where we place genre wise. We're also trying to, we're getting used to playing together, trying
different directions and
because
see what gives.
The three singles so far have been quite different, especially the next one where the fourth one. That's the most different one, but we're not here to talk about that one yet.
True. That's something for later.
So it's just it's a simple little pop song based around.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to record it as well. Just like our first single, Not Feeling It, is like kind of in the same vibe as in how we recorded it. It's just simple, like three guys in a room and just singing along. And especially in Winnie, we did a bit more harmonies. Yeah. And it was just nice to stand in a room and sing together. And even though it is like a silly pop song, it's nice to just sing together and it doesn't always have to be like. We're
just trying to have fun. It's a song where you can, I hope you can hear us having fun with it.
Definitely.
Especially there's the bit in the bridge in the middle bit I'm particularly proud of, because I really wanted to get like a Be My Baby kind of vibe going on, whilst not trying to do that in the middle of the song, but just that kind of.
Which also had the legendary El Locomotivo, or drummer.
Yes.
Doing the, I don't know, what's the English word?
Castanets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which are a lot harder to play than we thought.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, he was the only one that could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all tried to hold him, and then it's really hard.
Yeah.
I think we really sucked, and then he was the only one who actually nailed it. So kudos.
It's
very essential to the bridge. That's
yes, very essential. Very essential.
Like you say, the outcome was a really great pop song. You've released the 3 singles, so you've also released Not Feeling It and Things You Do to Me.
You've really done your research, haven't you? That's lovely. Wow.
So appreciate
it.
My research tells me that there may be an EP on the way, possibly called The Future Is Fabulous. Is that still the plan for the band? When might fans expect an EP. What should they expect from that EP?
Well, we can give you. There's one of two answers we can give you.
Yeah, true.
I think because you've been so nice and included our song in the playlist, I think we should probably be honest.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the
and
best gesture. Yeah.
And that would be. We kind of just came up with the idea of let's just tag "The Future Is Fabulous" the whole time. Well, no, that's a plan I have. I don't know if.
Yeah.
Go on, you're just going to say something. I saw the lips go. What was you going to say?
I don't know. No. I'm going to help you out. You just.
a loose plan I had was for us because we're a new band and we're trying to find an audience to release a body of work, albeit maybe 3, 4, 5 songs. It's a bit overwhelming and a bit much to ask people at this point to sort of, listen to these group of songs. It's a little bit easier to get people involved. It's just I think, I don't know, and that's the strategy we're going for. It's just some singles. But then I would like us to do another group, bunch of songs, and then put those together with these songs to then
label it as The Future Is
Fabulous. Yes. So
yeah, because at first, like that's why we were a bit hesitant at first. Like our initial idea was that we were gonna make an EP with 4 songs titled "The Future Is Fabulous," but then we released a single out of the EP, and then another one, and then another one, and now there's another one coming, and that's the whole EP. So there's nothing.
Yeah.
So that's why we decided to.
So I don't know if if you found this with the other people that you've spoken with, but there are no set rules to how you do this. I think people think there is, and obviously we follow the rules set by our predecessors or heroes or whatever. So even a band that releases things 2 years ago now is kind of irrelevant how you do it, especially for a band that isn't well established yet. It's and you don't have the financial backing behind you to sort of
course
push it. So
true.
Because I really would love to, the idea of having a bunch of songs that are recorded all in one. These songs were recorded in one go, but sort of go in with right. Okay, here's our songs. Let's fine tune them. Let's make it a package. I really want to do that. I really want to do. But I was listening to your podcast with the Dutch band
Project Renegade.
No,
the Damned Few. Sorry,
the Damned Few.
Yes,
and their single was saying it all comes down to money.
Yes.
It all comes down to we've got enough ideas and songs to do an album. But who's going to be interested at this point? We need to tickle the fans. Who's going to pay for it? More importantly,
taxpayer money.
Yes,
that might be a good idea.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, here she is.
Winnie agrees.
Winnie single, yeah.
So you guys have talked about finding your feet, or with Winnie perhaps finding your paws. I know that's a cringe word.
Always good. I like that. Yes.
Yeah. And the general vibe coming from the band so far, is that you're doing this because you enjoy it and you want to have fun. And obviously you've put some videos with the songs out into the world, and they've been quite fun as well. Of course, I imagine you taking your career seriously, but is it an intention on your part to make sure that you do enjoy the process of making and putting out the music?
Most definitely, because when I thought, right, I want to get a band together, I've been doing music since, who knows when you start, but it's always kind of been there. And because the musical landscape is always changing, you can't overhear a plan, or you can't overhear, this is how you do it, and then you do it, and then it works. It's always changing. But then you get a bunch of songs, you do gigs, you make a CD and stuff, and after like 5-10 years, you're like, what? No, what's going on? Why hasn't it got anywhere? And then you're faced with the realization of, this, if I'm really truly honest, this might never go anywhere. So I might as well have fun with it. Because that I can control. We can have a laugh. We can make as best songs as we can, put on the best shows we can. But everything outside of that is not in our control. So yeah, we have fun doing that. Make silly little videos, because that's another thing that you've got to do promotion. You've got to do marketing. You've got to do. You can't. Gone are the days where you can just write a song, record it, and that's it.
True.
So if you're going to make a little promo, it's certainly for me as well, but certainly for us, if you're going to make a little promo thing, or you've got to make a video or whatever, then have fun with it. Because especially coming out of the, I'm sorry, I'm really going on a rant now, but especially coming out of the sort of,
can be edited, right?
Yeah. Coming out the singer-songwriter world as I had, I was very frustrated that a lot of that, from my point of view, in my opinion, and I want to stress that very much here.
I've distanced myself already.
Yes, please. Yes. Here it comes. Here's the moment where I get cancelled. But no, I found a lot of the singer-songwriter world quite boring for me, and it didn't. And it took itself very seriously. Now, some people are phenomenal. Some artists are incredible, and their art deserves to be taken seriously in that way. But mine never fit into that category. And so I couldn't take it in the same serious way as they did. And we've all seen band pictures where they're standing in railway tracks and in fields and abandoned warehouses. We know. Okay. But what else do you know? What? Tell me something else. So I've been worried about a lot of our stuff, because I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna. This seems really strange to come out from a band perspective. Is this going to connect with people? Is it going to be too out there? Is it going to be too weird? Probably even this. If we're listening to this, thinking, what is he talking about? What is
like if you see certain videos we made on Instagram, and then you see this kind of more serious podcast, like,
what's their vibe? I don't get it.
At this point, I think we're just throwing things out and then see what sticks, and then
I mean, at the end of the day, the last 18 months, 2 years has been a pretty dark time for the world. So I think we need some light, don't we?
Most definitely.
So it's great, to see you guys taking that kind of approach with your art and with what you're doing. And you've talked about touched on putting on shows, and obviously that's a very important part of being in a band and the promotion that comes with it. But obviously also, I guess for you guys, the fun part of being in a band, is playing live shows. And thankfully we are kind of moving out of the dark times in relation to COVID. Especially in the UK, we've got shows pretty much back to normal. I know you guys have put on a couple of shows recently. You played your first couple of shows in Belgium. How did those go for you? How did it feel to get back up on the stage?
Awesome.
Our
first gig was like a rock rally, and that was very nice for us because we won. So it automatically got us another gig, which was a lot of fun. Like, it was on a very proper stage with a lot of great bands, like Belgian bands that I really look up to myself. So that was a nice start for like a second gig.
That was.
And then last Friday we did another gig, which was like the first night where people were allowed inside without a mouth mask.
Yes.
Wow.
So it was really nice just seeing everyone just enjoying themselves like it used to be, and it was just friendly atmosphere, and finally things are like coming back to normal, and it felt good, and we had a lot of fun.
It's nice. As with everyone that I know that you've spoken with, and everyone you probably will speak with in the not too distant future, is we just want to do more.
Yeah.
We just want to, because also that's a muscle that needs to be worked on, and a skill that needs to be, worked out and ironed out, which you can do so many hours in a rehearsal room, but as soon as you go in front of people, we obviously we've been playing in a rehearsal room for the last year and a half. Pretty regularly, so we're feeling pretty good about ourselves, and knowing that there's always room for improvement. As soon as you get on the stage, the adrenaline goes through, the hand goes, I don't want to play like that, the voice goes, no, I'm not, I don't want to reach that note. So it needs to be worked out. But
ooh, this song is really gonna hit. No, it doesn't. Weird.
But the thing, I think
let's try again.
I think the thing that let's get a bit deep. Should we get a bit deep, guys? Let's get a bit deep. I think the thing that people had been missing, and that I certainly missed, but didn't really know how to articulate it, and who knows if I'm going to do it now, here we go, is to be in a room with people for a bigger thing, for something that isn't just seeing each other. It's we're all here to experience something that's only happening right now. That's nice. That's really nice, and we're all desperate. We're all desperate for that.
Yeah.
I don't think I quite hit that off the mark, did I? I was hoping it would. I thought
that was good. That was good. I think we paused for a while. So it came through.
Yeah. No, I mean, I completely echo it. Being able to get back into packed venues or small venues, and trying to again discover new bands. The whole point of this podcast, something that was very difficult in a way to do. Over the last 18 months, you can hear something online, but I mean, as you've said, as a band, playing live is different to rehearsing, and of course, as a fan, listening to live music is really completely different to listening to it on record, because songs can evolve and come alive in the live setting, and completely change your opinion of it. So
and that's something we want to try, and that's why I want to do more shows, because that's something I'm very conscious of, is that the live experience is automatically different than what it is when you listen to something. So therefore I would like our shows to be something that stands up on its own, that you want to go and see us, because I'd love for one day someone to say, "Oh, come see Freddie the Fabs," and then someone says, "Oh, what sort of music do they do?" And they say, "Just come and see." That's what I'd love, because I want it to be a standalone thing, and especially in a business professional boring way, unless we get 1 billion streams, it's kind of going to have to be the live shows that brings any sort of finances your way. Have you managed to go to any shows yet?
Yes, quite a lot. It's been really cathartic to get back to those shows and to experience that, and especially the first shows, as a fan, getting back to them when we first could, very emotional to get back, and
definitely
special.
So the place we played on Friday was our first. So we're based in Ghent in Belgium, and it was our first show in Ghent. And there's a venue called Vol Pension. Shout out! And we planned to play our first gig there last June, and obviously, so we wanted our first gig in Ghent to be in Vol Pension, which it was. But they are just celebrating their 2-year anniversary as a bar. And they had a week-long celebration with different acts, different bands. And so when we go in on the Friday, it was so nice, because we walked in there and it smelt like a bar. It smelt like a bar, and I didn't realize how much I missed that. You thought, you knew you was in a place where things had happened and you wanted to be a part of it. That's
The beer was just standing a little bit too long on the counter.
It was beautiful.
No, you really can't beat it. And as you've already said, your intention will be to play as much as you can going forward. And obviously, as you said, you're based in Ghent in Belgium at the moment. So I imagine more shows coming in Europe, but as well, you've got links to the UK for yourself, Freddie. Is there intention to come and play some shows when you can, get that arranged?
Most definitely. I'd love to come over. I'd love to be able to take the boys over, see them a bit of their motherland. But we shan't bring the tone of the podcast down, but there are obviously obstacles, and at the moment it would just be too much of a
financial burden.
Most definitely.
And it's
because tours cost. I'm a big fan of Queen, and their last tour that they did in 1986 was the only tour they made money on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
hopefully.
Yeah. So yeah, it costs a lot. So it would, and that's without permits or visas or whatever will have to be the case.
Yes, it's just complicated.
Are we sexy enough to do a car wash? What's that?
To raise money.
Oh,
not
there you go. There's another video.
Yeah. Answer in the comments.
Yes. We will wash your cars and we won't use sponges.
Wow. On that note,
that's an idea. That's an idea. You wait, you watch. When we do a crowdfunding to go on tour, you wait for the promo video for that.
Excellent, guys. No, it's been a great pleasure having this chat with you. It's just really nice to see a band so happy to be able to put their music out there and enjoy their music, and hopefully there's big things coming for you guys in the future. We're on boards, supporting you. Listeners need to check you out, and obviously these days that involves social media, so listeners, check the band out on Instagram and Facebook at Freddie and the Fabs, and on Twitter at Fabs Band.
He's really done his done his homework. Amazing. Oh, wonderful.
So guys, just to finish out the podcast for this episode, what do you see the future holding for Freddie and the Fabs? What do you want to say to the listeners that are with us?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that's been kind of on the download right now is Mr. Freddie Weber from Freddie and the Fabs is having a new customized guitar.
Oh yes, I haven't been talking about that. I'm having a
that
guitar.
Is going to be a gem for the future.
That's We'll have to, when we've got so much to say, Paul. We'll have to come back another time with it because there's so much.
You're more than welcome.
But I'm going to say thank you very much for including our song and then for this conversation, because especially I think a lot of any bands or artists that have started up over the last year and a half or 2 years, it's so hard to know if anything is actually getting anywhere. You see numbers and things go up on YouTube or Spotify, you think, oh, that's nice, me. But it's just a number, really. It's hard. It's not a human, because you don't see that, you just see numbers. So the fact that you have included it and you've listened and whatever, that's incredible. So thank you for that. What was your question? Sorry. Is there anything we want to say to the? Is there anything? Well, go look out for go and listen for Winnie and our other previous songs. There will be a music video for Winnie coming soon, in the kind of vein of the previous things you've seen. We will have a full single that will come out before the end of the year, and then I think next year is gigging year. That's what I'd like to try and, with obviously music coming out, but that would be the
main goal.
Yes.
Get people to know us.
Stay positive. This too shall pass. Whatever's happening will pass. Tell your mum and your dad and your friends that you love them. If you have a pet, go touch them.
In
an appropriate way. I can't even say that these days, can you? Yeah, and
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and I'm having a guitar made for my birthday, and there will only be one in the world like it. So stay tuned for more of that.
Well, everyone, thank you very much, Freddie and the Fabs. Remember, everyone listening, check them out on social media and on our Discover New Music playlist on Spotify.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for another edition of the Discover New Music podcast from us at Full Pelt Music. Hope you enjoyed the chat with Freddie and the Fabs. Please check out their latest single, Winnie, on our Discover New Music playlist over on Spotify. Make sure you give that playlist a follow. And if you are watching on YouTube, please obviously hit subscribe to keep up to date with the latest from Full Pelt Music. Follow us on our social media channels at Full Pelt on Facebook and at Full Pelt Music on Twitter and Instagram.